The whiskey fades into numbness as I push through the heavy oak door of the Rose and Thistle. Outside, the night air bites after the tavern's smoky warmth. I fumble in my pocket for cigarettes, the only remedy for thoughts that won't quiet. The street lamp above me blinks, casting my shadow in jittery patterns across wet cobblestones. 4 drinks tonight, not my worst showing, not my best either. I cup my hands against the wind and strike a match. The flame trembles, illuminating my fingers, steady enough for now. The first drag fills my lungs with temporary purpose. Pendlethwaite sleeps around me, windows dark and shuttered against the night. Nothing moves except the mist that creeps between buildings like a thief, pooling in the hollows of the street. Tap. I freeze, cigarette halfway to my lips. Tap, tap. The sound echoes off stone. My eyes search the darkness beyond the light's reach. Tap, tap, tap. A figure materializes at the edge of the village green. Tall, thin, wrapped in what looks like a black overcoat. The mist swirls around polished boots as it moves with painful slowness towards St. Bartolph's. What catches my eye, stops my breath, is the cane it leans upon. Red as fresh blood against the grey night. "Oi," I call, my voice sounding thinner than intended. "It's past midnight." The figure doesn't turn, doesn't hesitate, just continues that laboured walk, the scarlet cane striking stone with each step. Tap, tap, tap. I drop my cigarette, crushing it underfoot. Probably nothing, some stranger passing through. But strangers in Pendlethwaite rarely bring good fortune. "Police," I announce, following at a distance. "Hold up a moment." The figure reaches the rusted gates of St. Bartolph's and pushes through without slowing. The hinges groan, a sound that travels across the sleeping village. The graveyard stretches before me, a patchwork of tilted stones and tangled shadows. Yew trees stand sentinel, their branches forming a canopy that blocks what little moonlight filters through the clouds. The path beneath my feet is broken, cracked by generations of roots pushing upward. Tap, tap. Fainter now, I step through the gates, eyes straining. "I just want a word," I call, softer this time. The mist thickens between the graves, tendrils wrapping around marble angels and weathered crosses. I follow the sound, weaving between headstones, some so old their inscriptions have surrendered to time and weather. Tap. Then, silence. I stop, turning slowly. The graveyard stretches in every direction, still and empty. No movement disturbs the mist. No sound breaks the quiet. "Hello?" My voice sounds wrong here, an intrusion. Nothing answers but the distant hoot of an owl. I move forward, between 2 ancient yews whose trunks twist together like lovers. The scarlet cane, the black-coated figure, gone, as though the ground opened up and swallowed them whole. Or as though they were never there at all. The owl's call follows me all the way up Upper Lane, a lonely sound that echoes off stone cottages. My footsteps slow as I approach our gate, its familiar creak, a reminder of another job I've been meaning to fix. Moonlight catches on the ivy that crawls across our cottage walls, turning the leaves silver. I pause, searching the shadows between houses, half expecting to see that limping figure. Nothing moves but the branches of the old oak tree, fingers scratching against our bedroom window. The key turns quietly in the lock. Inside, darkness greets me, broken only by the dying embers in the hearth. Their faint orange glow reveals the scattered wooden soldiers on the rug, Lillian's crayon drawings pinned to the mantel, a half-finished cup of tea on the side table. Home. The floorboards know my weight, know exactly where to creak. I navigate them with the precision of long practice, stepping lightly past Lillian's room, where her soft breathing filters through the half-open door. Our bedroom is warm, the curtains stirring slightly in the draught from the window. Eliza lies with her back to the door, her dark hair spread across the pillow. I undress in the shadows, slipping beneath the covers with the caution of a thief. Not cautious enough. "You're late." Her voice is thick with interrupted sleep. "Sorry, lost track of time." She rolls toward me, eyes still closed. Then her nose wrinkles. "You've been smoking again." "Just the one." "You promised." Her eyes open now, finding mine in the darkness. "You promised Lillian." The weight of disappointment in her voice is heavier than any rebuke. I stare at the ceiling, watching shadows play across the plaster. 4 months you'd gone without. What happened? Nothing happened. It was just what? Just another night at the Rose and Thistle. Just another promise that doesn't matter. Her words sting because they're true. I reach for her hand beneath the covers, but she pulls away. "Lillian asked me today if you were still a policeman, or if you'd become a professional drinker instead." Christ, Eliza, those were her exact words, Isaac. 6 years old and already she sees what you're becoming. The silence stretches between us, filled with all the things I should say, but can't find words for. Outside, the owl calls again, closer now. "I'm trying," I finally whisper. "Try harder." She turns away, pulling the blanket tight around her shoulders. Sleep refuses to come. I lie awake, listening to Eliza's breathing gradually soften and slow. The cottage creaks and settles around us. Wind whispers through the eaves. Behind my closed eyes, I see it again, that figure in black, moving through the mist, the scarlet cane striking stone. And something else, something I didn't want to acknowledge in the graveyard. As the figure passed beneath the single working street lamp by the church gate, I caught a glimpse of its face, just for a moment, before the shadows claimed it again. Morning light seeps through the village, casting everything in a pale, uncertain glow. I button my constable's coat against the chill, adjust my hat, and begin my rounds. Pendlethwaite wakes slowly. Shop fronts creak open. Mr. Finch sweeps the cobbles outside his bakery, releasing clouds of flour with each bristle stroke. "Morning, constable," he nods, leaning on his broom. "Warm batch just out if you're interested." "Maybe later." I pause, casual as I can manage. "Say, you haven't noticed anyone new about? A man with a limp? Carries a scarlet cane?" Finch's brow furrows. "Can't say I have. Not much traffic through here lately. Last visitor we had was that seed salesman 3 weeks back." The postman tells me the same. So does the butcher, the greengrocer, and old Thomas who minds the hardware shop. No strangers, no scarlet cane. By noon I'm standing in the market square, watching Mrs. Peake arrange knitted scarves on her stall. Her eyes narrow when I approach. "No, I've not seen any limping men," she sniffs, arthritic fingers smoothing wool. "Though I hear you were seeing plenty last night at the Rose and Thistle." "It's not like that, Mrs. Peake. Your father never touched a drop, God rest him, knew his duty." She leans closer, voice dropping. "That stuff will have you chasing shadows, Isaac Morley. Mark my words." Her certainty burns like acid. I turn away, muttering about continuing my rounds. The war memorial stands at the square's edge, grey stone soldier forever at attention. A cluster of children hop and skip around its base, their laughter at odds with the solemn figure above them. Hopscotch squares spread across the paving stones, chalked in white and blue and red, bright as fresh blood. A little girl, Jenny Harper, draws another square with a stub of red chalk. The colour catches the weak sunlight, flaring bright against the grey stone. Just like that cane. I stare too long. Jenny notices, holds up her chalk. "Want to go, Constable Morley?" The children giggle. I touch my hat, force a smile, move on. But that red stays with me, burning behind my eyes. Not imagined, not the drink. Something was in the graveyard last night, something that doesn't belong in Pendlethwaite. And I'm going to find it. I wait in the damp hedgerow outside St. Bartolph's, collar turned up against the night chill. No drink tonight. Need my wits sharp. The village clock strikes 11, its echo fading into nothing. Time crawls. I shift my weight, boots sinking into soft earth. I begin to doubt myself. Then, tap, tap, tap. The iron gates creak open. The figure enters, black against black, moving with painful deliberation. The scarlet cane catches moonlight, gleaming wet as a fresh wound. I hold my breath, watch. The shape moves between the gravestones, stopping at each one, an even blacker hole against the night. Taps the cane against marble, against granite. A ritual. Tap, tap, tap. My muscles ache from stillness. I ease forward, slipping from the hedge's embrace. Soft steps on dewed grass. The night smothers sound, wraps me in shadow. 20 paces back, 15, 10. The figure pauses at a grave, newer than the rest. Marble not yet weathered. The cane hovers over the headstone, trembling slightly. Moonlight breaks through scuddling clouds, illuminates the graveyard in silver. The figure turns, slow as a nightmare. Glints of reflected moonlight from the eyes beneath the black trilby, a face of shadows and angles that I can't quite make out. My throat closes, pulse hammers. The figure stares, unmoving. Stop, I finally shout, voice cracking. Who are you? What are you doing here? No answer, just that hollow stare. I'm a constable, you're trespassing. My hand reaches for the truncheon of my belt. Identify yourself. The figure shifts, takes a single painful step back. Stop, I said, stop. Another step, another, melting into darkness between yew trees. The cane's scarlet glow lingers longest, like an afterimage burned into my vision. I lunge forward, boots slipping on wet grass. I reach the spot where it stood. Nothing, no footprints, no disturbed earth, just cold air that smells of loam. Where are you? My voice echoes back. I search between trees, behind headstones. Nothing. The graveyard lies empty and innocent under moonlight, as if mocking my certainty. A dog barks somewhere in the village. My breath comes in clouds. I'm shaking, but not from cold. What did I see? What was I chasing? A twig snaps behind me. I whirl, heart slamming against ribs. Nothing there, just shadows and silence. But I now know. I'm not imagining things, not drunk, not mad. Something walks in Pendlethwaite. Something that doesn't belong. And somehow, it knows me. Morning light filters through lace curtains, painting our kitchen in pale gold. Lillian sits at the table, legs swinging, attacking her porridge with vigorous determination. Eliza moves between stove and sink, the rhythm of domesticity in her steps. I haven't slept. The night's encounter loops through my mind. You look terrible. Eliza places a cup of tea before me. Did you even sleep? I saw him again. The words tumble out before I can arrange them properly. The man with the cane, in the graveyard. Her hands pause mid-motion. The ghost you've been chasing? He's not a ghost. I wrap my fingers around the warm cup. He's flesh and blood, standing there, examining gravestones like he's looking for something. Eliza's face softens with concern. She glances at Lillian, then back to me. Perhaps you should take a day off. Rest. I'm not imagining things. Daddy, can I have more milk? Lillian pushes her bowl forward, face smeared with porridge. I reach across, smooth her wild morning hair. Of course, Poppet. Eliza pours milk, then sits beside me. Her voice drops. First the drinking, now this. Isaac, I'm worried about you. What's that supposed to mean? You're seeing things that aren't there, chasing shadows in graveyards at midnight. I know what I saw. Do you? Her eyes hold mine, searching. Because this sounds like the time you thought someone was breaking into the shed, remember? 3 nights of watching, and it was just a fox. Heat rises in my chest. This isn't a fox. No, it's worse. It's paranoia. She takes my hand. Daddy, why are you angry? Lillian's voice cuts through our tension. I'm not angry, love. I force a smile. Daddy just needs to go to work. The church spire looms against the morning sky as I approach St. Bartol's. The graveyard looks different by day, less threatening, more melancholy. Headstones stand in crooked rows. I find Vicar Hargreaves trimming roses behind the church door. Good morning, Constable. He straightens, secateurs in hand. Lovely day for gardening. Morning, Vicar. I need a word. He sets his tools aside, brushes soil from his hands. Of course. Trouble? Has anyone been buried here recently? His bushy eyebrows rise. Recently? No, not for years. 5 years to be precise. He leads me into the cool shadow of the church porch. Since old Mrs. Carrington, the council opened that new cemetery on the Pendlethwaite Road. This is just for the old families now. And you've not seen anyone unusual here at night? At night, he frowns. I'm in bed by 9. Constable, what's this about? I described the figure, the Scarlet cane, the methodical inspection of gravestones. Hargreaves listens, face impassive. When I finish, he sighs. Constable Morley, how long since you've had a proper rest? I'm not tired. The mind likes to play tricks on us. His voice softens. After my Margaret passed, I used to hear her singing hymns in the vestry for months. I'm not imagining it. I saw someone. Perhaps. He places a hand on my shoulder. But don't feel any shame in it. It happens to the best of us. You think I'm mad. I think you're exhausted. He smiles kindly. Go home. Rest. I step back, frustration rising. Even the vicar thinks I'm losing my mind, but I know what I saw. The Scarlet cane. Those eyes in the darkness. Midnight cloaks St. Bartol's in shadow. I crouch behind a stone angel, a weathered statue with chipped wings and a face worn smooth by centuries of rain. My breath mists in the chilly air. I've come prepared tonight, torch in pocket, whistle on a string, mind clear and sober. The moon slides from beneath clouds, painting the headstones silver. I wait. Tap, tap, tap. The sound drifts through the yews. My pulse quickens. I press deeper into the angel's shadow, watching. He emerges from between 2 mausoleums, the figure in black, leaning heavily on his scarlet cane. The wood gleams unnaturally bright against the monochrome night. He moves with painful deliberation, stopping at each grave. Tap, pause. Tap, tap, pause. Tap. A pattern, not random. He's communicating something. The figure reaches the Winterston plot, taps the headstone 3 times, moves to the next, 4 taps. Next, 2 quick taps. I strain to understand. A code? A count? He stops at the grave of Emily Carruthers, dead 50 years. His shoulders slump. The cane strikes the stone with particular force. Enough, I rise from my hiding place. Stop right there. The figure freezes mid-tap, doesn't turn. I'm Constable Morley. Who are you? What business have you in this graveyard? The cane resumes its rhythm. Tap, tap. I said stop. I stride forward, confidence mounting with each step. Turn around, show yourself. The tapping halts. Slowly, painfully, the figure pivots. Moonlight catches the brim of his trilby, casting shadows across his features. Then, he lifts his face. My legs turn to water. It's my face. My face, but wrong. Burned. Scarred tissue pulls tight across the left cheek. The right eye, milky white, stares unseeing. The left, my own hazel, fixes on me with terrible recognition. No, the word escapes me, barely a whisper. The figure, this twisted mirror of myself, drops the cane. It clatters against stone, the sound sharp in the midnight silence. He lurches forward, each step a grimace of pain. I can't move, can't breathe. He reaches for me with trembling hands. Fingers like ice close around my face, thumbs pressing into my cheeks. His touch burns with cold. His mouth opens, a black hole in that ruined face. No sound emerges, yet I hear it. A scream that bypasses my ears and claws directly into my brain. Wake up. I bolt upright, sheets tangled around my legs. Sweat soaked my nightshirt, cold against feverish skin. My heart hammers against my ribs. A dream, just a dream, but the scream echoes in my skull. I reach for Eliza, needing her warmth, her solidity. My hand finds empty space. The bedroom feels wrong, empty, altered. Smoke tickles my nostrils, thick, acrid. Eliza? No answer, just the soft crackle of fire. Orange light flickers beneath the door. Black smoke creeps through the gap, coiling along the ceiling. Eliza, Lillian. I stumble from bed, lungs already burning. The floor scorches my bare feet. I grab the doorknob, snatch my hand back with a hiss, metal hot as a branding iron. Shirt over hand, I wrench the door open. A wall of heat slams into me. The hallway's transformed into a tunnel of flame. Fire licks up the wallpaper, devours the family photographs, melts Lillian's crayon drawings. Isaac! Eliza's scream cuts through the roar. She stands at Lillian's bedroom door, nightdress plastered to her skin with sweat. Our daughter clings to her, face buried against her mother's hip. The stairs are gone, Eliza shouts. We're trapped. I push through the heat, arms shielding my face. Smoke fills my lungs. Each breath feels like swallowing glass. The window, I cough, reaching them, will climb down the trellis. Lillian's eyes are wide with terror, reflecting the dancing flames. Daddy, I'm scared. I know, love. Hold tight to Mummy. Eliza scoops Lillian into her arms. I lead them back toward our bedroom, toward the window that overlooks the garden. 3 steps, just 3 steps to safety. The ceiling above us groans, timbers crack like gunshots. Something shifts in the house structure. A terrible pressure builds in the air. The world explodes. A force, like God's own fist, slams into my back. Heat beyond imagining, sound beyond bearing. I'm airborne, tumbling through chaos and flame. Glass shatters around me. The bedroom window. I'm falling, trailing fire like a meteor. Impact. My leg twists beneath me with a sickening crack. Pain detonates up my spine. I roll across stones, still burning. My clothes, my hair, all ablaze. Instinct takes over. I roll, slapping at flames that eat my flesh. The dew-damp grass hisses beneath me. The fire dims. Pain rushes in to fill the void. I lift my head. Our cottage, our home, has become a cathedral of flame. The roof caves inward with a thunderous crash. Sparks spiral into the night sky. Eliza! Lillian! My scream tears my throat raw. I drag myself toward the inferno, broken leg trailing uselessly behind. Each movement is agony. Skin sloughs from my palms as I claw at the earth. Please, I sob. Please, God, no. The heat drives me back. I can't approach, can't reach them, can't save them. Through streaming eyes, I watch our life burn. The walls that sheltered us, the rooms where Lillian took her first steps, the kitchen where Eliza hummed as she kneaded bread. All consumed, all gone. Something inside me breaks, something beyond bone and flesh. A fissure opens in my soul, and through it pours darkness without end. I collapse onto my back, staring up at stars that watch with cold indifference. Flames reflect in my tears. Pain whites out my vision, then fades to grey. White ceilings, sterile light, the hiss of oxygen. Voices float above me, clinical and detached. Third-degree burns over 20%. Fractured tibia. Smoke inhalation. Time loses meaning. Days blur into a haze of morphine and half-consciousness. Nurses change bandages with gentle hands. I flinch from their pity. A doctor with kind eyes and grey temples sits beside my bed, her voice gentle but firm. Your leg will heal, but with permanent damage. You'll need a cane. I don't respond. What does it matter? Mr. Morley, about your family. The words that follow destroy what little remains of me. Confirmed dead, recovered from the ruins of my cottage. I scream until orderlies hold me down. They push needles into my arms. Blessed darkness follows. Later, days, weeks, Vicar Hargreaves visits. Black suit, Bible in hand. He speaks of a service held, of flowers and mourners, of 2 coffins, one heartbreakingly small. The village came together, he says. They wanted you to know. I was absent at my own family's funeral, trapped in this antiseptic hell while they were lowered into the ground. The fire inspector visits next, grey-faced, apologetic. Origin point was a living room carpet. Near the sofa, he pauses. We found cigarette ash, the brand you smoke. My throat closes. That night, stumbling home drunk, lighting up despite my promise to Eliza, the cigarette I thought I'd extinguished. I killed them. Months pass. Physical therapy, skin grafts, pain that never truly leaves. The day I'm discharged, I stand before the hospital's shops rack of canes. Black walnut, polished oak, burnished brass. Then, a flash of scarlet. Red, like the ribbon Lillian wore in her hair. Red, like the crayon drawings on our refrigerator. That one, I whisper. I dress in black, a man of mourning, a man of penance. The scarlet cane taps against linoleum as I limp towards the exit. In the glass doors I catch my reflection. Half my face smooth, the other a landscape of scar tissue, one eye clouded white. Burned hands grip the red cane. I recognize myself now. I've seen this man before. I visit their graves alone, my first act since leaving hospital. It's late, the moon is high. My scarlet cane tapping each gravestone as I search, half blind, for their final resting place. A noise behind me makes me turn, slowly, painfully. I see myself as I was. No scars, no cane. I want tears to come, but my tear ducts are too damaged. I drop my cane. I limp as I approach my younger self, grab him by the cheeks, and open my mouth to scream at him. The graveyard warps back into focus. Cold night air rushes into my lungs. My hands, unburned, familiar, tremble against my thighs. The moon hangs bright above the yew trees, casting silver light across their leaning headstones. He's gone, the man with the scarlet cane. My future self has vanished like morning mist. But the memory burns bright, the twisted face, the milky eye, the limping gait of a man destroyed by his own carelessness. I stumble forward, heart hammering against my ribs. Each breath comes ragged as I move between the graves, touching headstones with trembling fingers, checking names, making sure. No Elizabeth Morley, no Lillian Morley. My family, still alive, still waiting at home. I tap each stone like the figure did, understanding now. This wasn't madness or haunting. It was a warning, a glimpse of what could be, what will be if I continue down this path. The moss is damp beneath my fingers as I steady myself against the weathered angel. Sweat beads on my forehead despite the chill. I reach into my pocket and pull out the half-empty packet of cigarettes, the same brand the fire inspector mentioned in that terrible vision. My fingers close around the cardboard, crushing it slightly. How many times has Eliza asked me to quit? How many promises have I broken, lighting up after leaving the rose and thistle? One small choice, one moment of weakness, one forgotten cigarette. I cross to the rusted bin near the graveyard gate. The packet drops from my hand, tumbling into the darkness among discarded flower wrappings and dead leaves. Iron gates creak as I push through them. The village sleeps peacefully beyond. Cottage windows dark, except for the occasional glow of a bedside lamp. My home waits at the end of Upper Lane, warm, whole, untouched by flame. I walk briskly now, purpose in every step. No more taverns, no more cigarettes, no more broken promises. The man with the scarlet cane showed me my future, but futures can be changed. I quicken my pace toward home, toward Eliza and Lillian, toward life.